Welcome back. My name is SGO, and I'm currently All-Star in all roles, and I've been really pushing for Legendary on Tank. I'm currently All-Star too, and I've only used Junker Queen. And so I took the week to get really, really good. I was already good, but I wanted to get good so I could show you guys and actually know what I'm talking about. And I have a couple builds for you. Starting off with a build I call Flying Chop. And you can kind of start with either one of these perks. I sometimes start with Soaring Stone. And some people are surprised I'm running this. If you are not using the Leaping Carnage, you are wasting your time. The positioning and the movement tech that comes with this is insane. So either first or third round. You'll notice that I often like Reckoner's Roar on a lot of my builds. And with that sometimes comes Let's Go Win, right? Eliminating that cooldown. And for perks, there's musts and then there's some flex ones, right? This is a must. 75% reduction when you're doing your Carnage. Your Carnage is your whole build. Increase radius, this will add the wound effect, right? And we're going to be stacking ability power, and so this number will increase, and then we're just boosting ability power, cranking it up as much as we can. You put that all together, and it should look something like this. Oh, that one was so good, dude. This is an edit. I posted the video already and I actually ended up deleting it. I wanted to add another build. I posted one variant of this build, but I want to post the other one. I feel like both have value. So after this build, you're going to pretend like the video is going to go normally, okay? This is my original wound build. And really, we're just capitalizing off as much wound damage as possible. And for the second build, I made this today. It's a variant of something I've been running lately. We start with Royal Bullets. What this does is allow Scattergun to create wounds every time we do a critical hit, as long as they're close enough, and allows us to do weapon damage over time. This is going to scale and increase. That 50 is going to increase as we increase our weapon damage. Then we have Twist the Knife. I don't see a lot of people using this. I don't know why, but every time I make a wound, which is basically my whole kit, doesn't matter if it's an ability, my melee, my gun now, right? If I hit a critical hit, it extends the wound time. This is going to heal me and going to do a lot of damage. Then Thrill the Battle, another one I don't see as often. I do see some people running it, but now when I'm doing all this wound, it's going to heal my teammates as long as they're 36 feet from me. Gonna heal them 50% of what it heals me. Huge. And the last perk, honestly, I think it's up to you. I like going Cut 'em Gracie. This allows me to basically use my knife all the time. It allows me to fish them in. We're close range, so we want to be able to shoot them in the head. That's how we do it. For powers, we're going to go this one every round, first round. You're going to be rich. You'll be able to afford it. You're going to get it. And I'm actually missing one here. Let's wait. No, it's right here. Second round, if we can afford it, we're going to go this. You should be able to. We're going to go this. We need lifesteal on this build, so we're going to keep this until we get this. Super Flexor. This is pretty much the only thing we're going to put into ability, and it just gives us a little bit of buff while we're still pushing that weapon power damage. The Closer, a weird perk name. We need this one. Critical damage is everything. We're going to get a massive buff with that. Codebreaker, I think, is also essential for scattergun builds. You're doing so much damage to tanks, and pretty much everyone's running armor. This is huge. And then I always pick one survival perk. You could pick this one. You could also pick this one. I prefer this one on this build just because we're going to have Jagged Blade a lot. We're going to hit them a lot, and it's going to give us a constant supply of overhealth. Tip for every character, especially if your team's not running it, you don't have a Moira with a heal reduction orb, gotta be running one of these heal reduction perks. Game Breaker. Well, winding back a little bit, I want to cover these two perks. Both of these perks here are mega stacking off wound. And not only does it stack off one wound, it stacks off multiple wounds. And so you can get up to 40% attack speed just with this one perk here if you're creating enough wounds. And then you get base 15% here, but you also get up to 25% weapon damage based on how many wounds they have. This is what I use to get all the way to All-Star, what I'm using to get to Legendary. I'm almost into All-Star 1 now. I'll show you a clip to show you what it looks like. I was kind of reluctant to show you this one. This one is so good, I almost wanted to keep it to myself. The amount of damage and self-healing, and even healing for your teammates if you want to set it up that way, is insane. And we call it Everything Wound. We always go Royal Bullets. This allows us to get wounds when we hit headshots with our gun, or our primary fire. And it also does weapon damage over time, which will increase as we stack that number. The second power we're going to choose is Reckoner's Roar. We picked this second because we're going to create as much wounds as possible, because we're going to be building off wound. Every time I use my commanding shout, it creates an ability wound, which will lead to the next power. We're going to reduce that cooldown again by every time we get an elimination, our commanding shout cooldown is reduced by 50%, which I think it's normally 16, so that's cut in half to 8. It's huge. And that's just off one elim. And then the last one is kind of wherever you want to put it. If your teammates are struggling, I honestly would go this one, Thrill of Battle. This allows you to heal everyone around you with all this wound damage you're doing. If you're winning or landsliding or they have no chance or you're not dying or your teammates aren't dying, I would go Twist the Knife. This allows you to extend any wound that's happening every time you hit a headshot with your gun. And that could be super far away too. All right, now let's look at the perks. I've only maybe one time in the last 15 hours of gameplay not been able to get this perk first round. Junker Queen is a money farm, and one of the reasons I like playing her. So I can't foresee, unless you need a little bit of practice shooting your gun, but almost every time I walk away with this perk first round. And I always make sure that I have this with it, right? We need lifesteal for this build, and we'll need this perk until we get this perk. These are the two musts. We're capitalizing off wounds, and we're going to increase our attack speed every time we create a wound. This is insane. On top of increasing damage each wound that exists when you're close to it. 12 meters is pretty far too. 36 feet, right? And then everything else is just fluff. We're going to get our ability damage up a little bit with Super Flexor, and we're getting our weapon damage and our attack speed up, getting that crit bonus. I'm telling you, guys, this build destroys the enemy. Destroys them. And you also leave every round with 12, 15, 19k at least. At least. I'll show a little bit of an extended clip here, but I want to show it full effect. This build is the Omega. The Omega. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like the video. Hopefully you enjoy this clip. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video.